Welcome to the Alliance of Delray's November meeting of 2024. It's great to see everyone here, and we are going to have Clerk Joe Abruzzo speak today. But first, we can all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, well, we've got some interesting information for next month. Really big meeting. I've been announcing it during the pre-meeting breakfast that we're going to have a big insurance panel next month, and Plastridge is going to be helping us, and we have other people coming. A very high-powered attorney will be part of the panel. We're going to have our Senator Lori Berman part of the panel. So there's going to be legislation, there's going to be information on insurance, on building, construction, banking, and they'll also have people here to speak to you one-on-one if you'd like to have any information from them about that for helping you out with your insurance or your association's insurance. Please read the newsletter that comes out. We've got some interesting things. I'm not going to say too much about this right now, but there's a very, very serious issue in the agricultural reserve. Very serious, and it's on the second page of the newsletter. And I'm not going to go too much further than that, except there's something that's proposed to be built that's going to bring a tremendous amount of traffic, way too much for the residents who live on Lyons Road, especially our member communities, Meisner, Country Club, and the bridges, 7 bridges. And so we're really concerned about that. And there is an explanation of it on page 2 of our newsletter, including data supporting the Alliance's position, which is really obvious how we don't need that sort of building out there. And oh, remember you saw the beautiful Richard Digliotti there. He wrote a beautiful poem, and it's in there too. So we've got lots of information, updates in our monthly newsletter. We always start out with hearing from our first responders. So can we please have, oh, I do see Captain Santa's here today. Oh, and we have, first, before we have, we're going to have Executive Vice President Arnie Katz just say thank you for some special guests that come today who aren't going to speak.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome. I'd like to recognize the guests today from the administrative offices and the elected officials that are here. Ed Saul from Mayor Maria Sack's office, Victoria Green from the Palm Beach County Tax Collector's office, Miles Osborne from Lake Worth Drainage District, Howie Zimmerman from Palm Beach County Property Appraiser's office, Roger Michaud from the Property Appraiser's office, Victoria Nolan from the Palm Beach County Legislative Delegation, Andrew Watt from the Palm Beach County Clerk of Court's office, Kathy Burstein from the Palm Beach County Clerk of Court's office. Excuse me. Jessica Barndollar from PBSO, Yvette Drucker from the Deputy Mayor Boca Raton, Evelyn DePlucy, aide to Senator Berman, Deputy Ian Holtzman, District 4 PBSO, and David Silvers, past state representative. Thank you all for being here and welcome.
Terrific. Now we have Captain Sant. I saw you here. Yeah, there you are for an update. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. No, it's kind of light on the applause. Did I offend anybody?
Oh, come on, give him a big
Yeah, come on.
Yay!
I'm just teasing. I'm going to have some fun with you because I'm just as tired as you are. I mean, we had a late night last night. Us young folk have to get to bed a little bit earlier. But, all right, listen, I hope everybody's doing well. It's always fantastic to see you. Nice turnout today. Yeah, we made it. We made it through. The election's over. Thank you, Jesus. Yeah, the election's over. Win, lose, or draw, I don't care. Just, it's over. Well, before I start, give you any kind of updates, what's going on in the community, I want to recognize and say thank you to, I don't know if it's going to apply to many, how many in the room, but I want to say thank you so much to all the men and women that volunteered their time to work the polls and the voting precincts. Your effort to your community does not go unnoticed, and trust me when I say this, it really did help us. It really did help us keeping things moving along, answering some questions, being our eyes and ears out there, that if something needed the attention from either law enforcement or polling location officials, it was handled right away so it didn't get out of control. So thank you. So if it applies to you, please give yourself a big round of applause, because I thank you and I applaud you as well. Second off, I don't want to fail to mention the great news. We are blessed to be able to retain our phenomenal sheriff, Rick Bradshaw. Unbelievable victory. You know, I'll tell you this, it's important to me because I'm finishing up my 30th year. I was telling a couple of you guys this morning. Yeah, 30 years.
Wow.
In 6 days, what's today, the 6th? 5 days I complete my 30th year, and I've loved every minute of it. I'm blessed to get up and done it. Thank you. So, 30 years of policing and protecting this community and all the others throughout the county. It's incredible. It's been my honor. I'm not going nowhere. This is not my farewell speech. Not yet. All right, so with that being said, let me give you some good news as well as far as crime goes. Remember at the beginning of the year, I was really nervous, concerned, should I say, of the crime trends with the burglaries, the auto burglaries, and the thefts. Well, I still am, but I want to share something with you. I don't like sometimes getting into specific numbers because statistics, they can work against you as much as they can work for you. But since they're in my favor, in our favor, I'm going to give you the numbers. Year to date, we are down 57% on auto burglaries throughout this whole region. Unbelievable. I can't get into the weeds, but if you really knew the numbers, that 50%, how impactful it is, it's pretty huge. And we were down 49% when it comes to stolen vehicles. So again, I say thank you to all because you guys are getting that message out. You guys are listening to some of the advice about locking your vehicles and taking your valuables out, which is what? It's keeping the criminals from looking in your windows and taking the stuff that's on your front seat. So I brought today, also Jessica here today, my assistant, and she has some of those flyers just as reminders. If you'd like to have one, she'll walk around the room and she'll put them out to you. We don't have that many because, believe it or not, they were a big fan favorite, and we went through a lot of them, which is a good thing. That's the reason why we did it, right? Traffic crashes, I've mentioned it a lot, but I'm going to have to mention it again. We're good, 5% down. We were up some point of the year. We were at 10% up on traffic crashes. With all the construction and all the confusion, with the input, the increase of traffic in the area, we swung from 10% increase for the year. We're down 5%. So my fuzzy math tells me that's a 15% in our favor way. All right, so just keep it up. All right, be mindful where you're going and leave yourself plenty of room to get there. Last but not least, the holidays. I can't believe we're scaring the heck out of Thanksgiving already. All right, we are. So please, shopping, for food, for everything else that goes with the holidays, please lock your cars. Please be mindful of your situation. And we have a bunch of scammers. We're working with the state. We're working with the state and the feds on scammers that are going through the parking lots and they're doing bait and switch and they're using distraction thefts. So if anybody comes up to you in the parking lot that you don't know and recognize, or clearly as law enforcement or a public official, do not get into a discussion with them. Don't show you their stuff. You didn't lose your wallet. You didn't lose anything, okay? Because it's all a big scam. The address typically, I don't want to profile anybody, but typically we've been seeing that have been dressed in Middle Eastern garb, okay? So this is some of the profile that's out there. Okay, all right, it's always fantastic to see you. I will see you next month. If you guys need me for anything, I'm only across the street. Thank you.
Thank you, Captain Sands.
Yes.
And next, we have representing Palm Beach County Fire Rescue, Captain Tony Keeler. Okay.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Dr. Lori and the Alliance, for giving us some time up here for you today. Chief Stansberry is sorry he's not here for you. He is up at headquarters taking a class, which is where we'll be going after this. Be really quick. So BAT 4, as you know, which is your area, is always the busiest in the county. Pretty much 1 out of every 4 calls in Palm Beach County takes place for the stations that we have in Battalion 4. So we ran just shy of 3,000 calls in the month of October for your battalion. Station 45, which is right here next to Kings Point, once again continues to be the busiest station in the county. And of the 9 stations that you guys have at Battalion 4, 5 of the 10 busiest rescues in Palm Beach County are in Battalion 4, and 5 of the 10 busiest engines in Palm Beach County are in Battalion 4. So with that being said, I just want to thank you for allowing the resources to move into this area, right? So the stations that we have, the personnel that we have is nothing short of you guys supporting the commissioners who support fire rescue. So we're always thankful for you and your support. We're thankful that you allow us the opportunity to hire the best people, have the best equipment, and be fully prepared to deal with anything that comes up for you when you call 911. So just want to thank you again for that. Leading into Thanksgiving, just be smart, and then into Hanukkah after that, we're going to start decorating, right? We got some Christmas trees, some lights, some menorahs, so make sure you know where your candles are at. Make sure you know the 12 plugs that you have in the little plug that only supposed to have 2, like my grandma does. Maybe try to limit that to 6, right? Or switch it up a little bit. I'm making jokes, but those are a lot of the calls that we have coming up for this season. And I did want to commend you as well for what Captain Sand said, that the traffic crashes are down, which is nice, and we're noticing that from the fire rescue side. Surprising with the influx of the Northerners and also the construction in the area. So please keep doing what you're doing, be vigilant, take care of your neighbors, and we'll see you next month. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Captain Keeler. Now we have Senator Lori Berman. Good to see you.
Good morning, Delray Alliance. So it was a little bit of a tough night, but we saw democracy in action in Palm Beach County. I think it was something like close to 85% of our voters voted. So that's, yeah, it's pretty amazing. I'm proud of us. You can clap for that, it's right. And we saw a lot of mixed things here in the county, and I would just want to talk to you a little bit about the state legislature. In the state legislature, the Senate is remaining pretty much exactly as it was in terms of composition between Democrats and Republicans, and the House also pretty much staying the way it is. I think there was a 1-seat net loss for the Democrats in the House. So we anticipate things will be pretty much the same. We have our swearing-in session in 2 weeks. Everybody goes up, and then we have our first round of committee weeks in the beginning of December, and then in January, it's full speed ahead. We have 2 weeks of committee weeks, 3 weeks in February, and then session in March and April. So we've got a lot on our plate. We're going to talk about much more in depth about property insurance next month when we have the panel. But we also have the issue about the condo assessments that so many of you are facing right now. And I do believe, I'm hopeful that we're going to address it and try and figure out what we can do to help everybody, because it's a real crisis, the true double hit between the property insurance and the condo assessments. So those are going to be our priorities, I think, as we start session. I'm getting my bills together. Happy to hear any input that any of you have, because a lot of times those are the most impactful and most important bills, the ones that we get from our constituents. So I'm looking forward to working with you. As many of you know, I have 2 years left on my term, and then there are term limits. So I'm going to be here with you, and I'm going to be fighting and being your voice for the next 2 years. It's my honor and privilege to represent all of you, and I may not be around at meetings for the next couple months because I'll be up in Tallahassee, but my office is right at Gateway and Congress, and here my my legislative assistant is in the back, Evelyn Duplessis, and we passed out the handouts, so you can always reach out to our office if you have any issues. And wish all of you a very happy Thanksgiving and happy holidays if I'm not here before I'll be here in December, so I'll see you all then. Thank you.
Thank you, great. And we have Representative Kelly Skidmore. She came today to see us and to give us a little update from the House.
Thank you, Dr. Vinacore. Good morning, Alliance. My name is Kelly Skidmore. I'm State Representative for District 92, which is parts of Boca Raton, Delray Beach, and Boynton Beach, mostly in the western communities. Thank you so much for coming out here today. I work really closely with Senator Berman on a lot of issues that are impacting our communities. We overlap a lot of our communities in each district. So we're looking forward to heading back to Tallahassee and representing you. I think that really the #1 agenda item for particularly South Florida will be condominium reserves and how we create a glide path forward that is suitable and appropriate for our communities. Understanding that no one wants to see anything again like Surfside, and there has to be protections in place, but also we cannot bankrupt individuals and people and buildings because the reserves are extraordinary. So we'll be working on that. Lots of other issues, some things that you probably never heard of, like the corporate practice of medicine, or big things that are weighing on you, the price of property insurance. So looking forward to that. As Senator Berman said, we will be traveling back and forth very quickly. My legislative office is on Atlantic Avenue and Hagen Ranch. My aide, Amy Chamberlain, is here. You all know her. Amy and Gwen work every day in that Delray office. They're there to answer your questions and help with any state issue that you might have. Even if it's city or federal, we'll point you in the right direction. So thank you again for being here this morning. Looking forward to representing you for another 2 years in Tallahassee. Please don't hesitate to call if you need anything. Thank you, Lori.
Great, thank you. It's great to have all these updates and to find out where our elected officials are working for us. We have Karen Brill, our school board chair.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vinacore. So it's so great to be back with you. I have to apologize. I wasn't here in September because my children have been very busy. In the last 3 years, we now have our 4th grandchild. So he was born in September. And then I had a real hard time with COVID starting in September into October. So I was boosted, I was vaccinated. Please stay safe because I had a really rough time, but I'm healthy again. And I'm back with you, and I'm here to thank you. Thank you so much for supporting the half-penny sales tax for our schools, because as you know, that 1 cent sales tax goes away the end of December 2025, so we would be dropping to 6%. Now it's going to be 6.5%, and you're helping us with school security and technology, but school security, that's like the most important thing for us now. Above academics is keeping our children and our employees safe, because you know the world is very different today. And so now we do have 3 new school board members who are going to be joining us. And so unfortunately, I'm going to wish you a happy holiday now. I will be up in Tampa with our new board members, getting them trained the first week in December. But I just want to thank you again for supporting our children, supporting our schools, and also making sure that the school board didn't become partisan, because we do not want politics in our schools. We have to make decisions based on what's best for our children and for our state. They're our future. And so I want to thank you again for all your support. Happy holidays. I look forward to seeing you in the new year. Take care.
Oh, thank you, School Board Chair Karen Brill. I know that our Executive Vice President already acknowledged the two special guests, but I just want to state again that we do have the Deputy Mayor of Boca Raton here, Yvette Drucker, trying to see what Delray is all about, and we might see more of her in the future. And also we have our past representative, David Silvers, here. So great to see you, and he is termed out, but we'll be seeing more of him in the future too, David Silvers. Well, so happy that our clerk, Joe Abruzzo, has arrived, but we have first, before the clerk, we got 2 minutes. Clerk Abruzzo, we have a 2-minute advertisement. Darian Samuels from ADT, who sponsored the breakfast today. We give the sponsor 2 minutes to speak. Come right up here. Everybody knows ADT. A lot of people use ADT. So thank you very much for your sponsorship. And you can tell us a little bit more about that, which most everybody knows, but go ahead.
Yes, thank you everyone. Good morning to everyone. My name is Darian Samuels. I'm the ADT Senior Account Manager. So I represent the Community Association Program, and we're really honored to be a sponsor of the Alliance of Delray. You know, this is a long tenured relationship we have. We're very honored to be a part of that. And you know, I just have a few reminders as it relates to your alarm systems. You know, with the start of the new year, we want to make sure that everyone re-register their alarm system with the PBSO. This is very, very important as it relates to any emergency or if you have a burglary or anything that happens with the alarm system. If you're not registered, then you may get fined, or you may, just anything that may happen. You want to make sure that that's registered. You want to be vigilant as it relates to your alarm systems. If you have any low batteries or any troubles on your keypads, just make sure you call in for service. Even if it's not with ADT or if it's with another alarm company, make sure that you start the year with a clear systems with no trouble. Okay, so I'll be over here in the corner if you have any questions later. And thank you again, everyone.
Okay, thank you for your sponsorship. Great. Okay, now we always get so much information from Clerk Abruzzo. It is so important, this office of the county, so important, controlling our money and records and all. So we're going to get an update now for the future, 2025, what's happening, how our clerk is going to help us. Clerk and Comptroller Joe Abruzzo.
Thank you, Lori, and thank you, Alliance. It is such a pleasure to come. I appreciate everybody being here after the long night we all had, watching the results come in. I'm going to take a break from national politics and tell you a little bit about our office, and as Lori mentioned, some of the outlook. So I'd appreciate you indulging me for a brief moment. Okay. So I could go off the slide if we need. So I operate, obviously, as your clerk of the circuit court and comptroller. In this position, we have over 1,000 different statutory duties. And as you can see up here, I operate as the clerk of the circuit court, the clerk to the board of the county commissioners, the auditor of the county, the record keeper of the county. We run the passport office. I operate as the CFO of the county and the treasurer of the county. Now, for all of you from up north, which I know is probably the vast majority like myself, usually there's one person for each one of these roles, but here in our government in Palm Beach County and in Florida, I encompass all of those. So, yep, that's what I just spoke about. So one important note, I hold the only office that I am personally responsible for anything that goes wrong. So as you'll learn in a minute, I manage billions of your tax money. If any of that money falls off the tracks, or as I mentioned, as the record keeper of the county, if there's a mass dump in your personal information and I get a class action lawsuit, I used to be, as many of you know, your state senator and state representative. In those positions, I was covered by the state legislature. In this position, I personally get sued. So the government in Florida decades ago said, whoever holds all this money, we're going to really make this extremely problematic if anything goes wrong. So protecting your money is obviously the most important thing that I can do in what we do. Because I don't want to get sued. So just to put it in perspective, these are the numbers of just last year. We handled nearly 400,000 Palm Beach County residents that physically came into our office. We processed over 4.5 million documents, handled over 350,000 telephone calls. One of the happiest things we do in our office, 11,000 marriage licenses. I was just one of those. I just got married 2 weeks ago. Thank you. We issued nearly 20,000 passports, processed, so when it says process invoices, I pay all the county bills. So just to back it up a brief second, Ann Gannon, our tax collector, collects your tax. It actually, or I'm sorry, Dorothy Jacks assesses your property tax. Then Ann Gannon collects it. It skips over Ann and comes directly to me. Then I invest the taxpayer dollar to earn extra income, but then I, as the comptroller, am responsible for paying all the bills. So the county commission determines how your money's spent, but then I have to cut those checks to the vendors. I see PBSO here. Thank you for protecting us and keeping us safe. I cut their paychecks. So that's what, as far as invoices processed. And we operate the VAT, the Value Adjustment Board. I know you know a lot about that. So AI is truly changing the way that things are processed. We're processing more and more every month in artificial bots. But I just want to let you know, because I have some of my incredible staff here, I have a commitment to my staff. As AI is transforming private business and the public sector, I will not lay off any one of my employees due to technology advancements. If the position becomes open because somebody leaves, that's a different story, but nobody will lose their job over this slide and how fast things are going. So one thing AI, I talked about processing invoices. It used to originally be done obviously by hand, then some computer programs, but it was kind of lacking. Now things move at light speed, and the road pavers to PBSO to whoever is getting paid in record time. Next slide. So the middle point there is important. You used to have, well, let me back up one more time again. When I took office in 2021, we were in lockdown and COVID. And one of my key initiatives was to make sure we could do anything that you needed, that you would have to physically come into the courthouse for, we can get online so you could do it right from your home. One of the things we led on in the state and implemented a little over a year ago is certified documents. You used to have to physically come in, no matter what, in person, if it was your document, and get it certified. Now you can do that right from your home online. It's changing the game for yourself, especially attorneys. We are in a massive process right now. We have over 75 million images that are going online, including some of our records back to the founding of our county, which is incredible. We actually are doing those by hand. Our staff is working very hard. It's a big uptaking. We have over 650 employees at the clerk's office working hard for you. We have a lot of help videos on YouTube. Our handles are, is that up there? Yep, right down there, at clerkpbc.com. If you're going through something in the court process, there's usually a self-help video right there, right for you. Passport applications, as I mentioned, we operate the federal passport office as well. It is by appointment only, but call me if you need anything. I'll try to get you in. This is family, it's alliance. I will tell you, we get asked a lot about expediting. Unfortunately, I do not have that capability because they have it in Miami. Nowhere else in Florida will be able to get an expediting service. But if you need a passport office, please let us know, or passport, please let us know. So our self-help service centers, we actually designed these after Apple stores, and there's one right here in the South County Courthouse. We cannot give legal advice, but what we can do is provide you a navigator, somebody from our office that understands what you need to do for your legal case. This is for people that, of course, can't afford an attorney or, quite frankly, do not want to spend on an attorney, but would like to try to do it themselves. We really help you if you come into the courthouse, regardless what your case is. Civil, criminal, doesn't matter. We will try to help you to the best of our abilities within the law and provide that for you. We actually also have a child area where parents, if they come in during the daytime, there's a play area for the children while they work through their legal process. If there's one thing that you take from me this morning, it's this slide right here. As you probably well know, we are ground zero for property fraud in the entire United States, South Florida, Miami-Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach County. What these horrible people do, they file fake deeds on your property. They try to claim the title. They take out loans or shift it to another third-party name. There's a variety of horrible tactics they use. But this right here, if you sign up, right here, it's on our website, mypalmbeachclerk.com/homeowners. It is free. You just put in your name and your address. If anything is filed on your property, you get an immediate alert. Now, I was actually up last night, very late, as I'm sure many of you were watching the results come in. And I on one station, every other commercial was Title Lock Company, where you sign up for a monthly fee and you get the alert of what exactly I said to you. You know what Title Lock does? They link to our website, your free website, and they charge you for providing the exact same information. That is a fraud within a fraud. Do not ever pay for a property fraud alert or owner alert or title lock alert, whatever it is. This is your free website and service paid by your tax dollars. So please do this because it's important. I am pleased. I have to take a step back from the slides for a second. I'm obviously a court partner, and my court partners are the sheriff and the state attorney, two of my primary court partners. I'm extremely pleased that Sheriff Bradshaw and Alexia Cox won yesterday. We are going to be working, we talked about this on the campaign trail, especially Alexia and I, with the sheriff, form an actual signed interagency agreement between our three offices where we're going to create a task force to go after those who engage in property fraud. To put it in perspective, and I want to tell you about a great friend of mine. One of my roommates when I served in Tallahassee was the former mayor, now property appraiser of Broward County. His name's Marty Kerr. And when I got elected, when you elected me as your clerk, I went actually with Kathy. We went down to Broward County to learn about some of the things they were doing, and they didn't know about this. And I told them what we created and what we're doing, and they took it and implemented it themselves. But not only did they implement this, they created what I just mentioned, an interlocal agreement task force between Broward County Sheriff, State Attorney, and the property appraiser down there, which he handles this, here I handle it. And they have over 180 arrests and hundreds of investigations. That's how prevalent this is in our community. But we need to do it, and I'll tell you why. The bad actors know Broward is putting their teeth in it. So what are they going to do now? They're going to come right here because they know they have stronger enforcement down there. So I'm on this. This is going to be one of our key initiatives of our second term. Should have started out by saying this. Thank you for re-electing me last night. I really appreciate it. But property fraud is something we're going to go after strong with our core partners. So we create an award-winning checks and balance guide. Do we have them? Yep, they're at our table right in the back. If you do have a moment, just grab one. It is an award-winning guide nationally for all that we put in this guide. I would love to take credit for it, but our office has been doing this for 20 years, and we win the best guide every single year. It really lays out in easy to read and detail, quite frankly, where our tax dollars are, pertinent information about the county. Highly recommend you grab one. Next slide. So, as you can see here, our deeds actually fell this past year. Actually, let me step out here because I want to see exactly what. So, when you look at our median sales price, you can see how we are going up, and up. And that's going to obviously bring in more tax revenue, but Palm Beach County is an anomaly as far as some of the other states in the nation and the national average. But our deeds have fallen. So the home sales aren't selling at record pace, but yet our property values keep going up. Oh, here's the deeds that I was just telling you about. So you can see how they fell off. Actually, let's look right here, Kathy. Our mortgages and deeds. So the home sales have slowed. But again, prices are going up. This is one of the slides I'm extremely proud of. When I took office in 2021, so let me back up again. One of my primary duties is, as your CFO and treasurer, is to invest your tax dollars to earn extra investment income and turn it over to the county commission. So we hold those tax dollars, we invest them, and then interest on that money is just extra money that the taxpayers didn't have to pay. Then the county commission gets more money to spend on parks, roads, whatever they deem is necessary. When I took office in 2021, we were earning $27 million a year annually. We broke the record, all-time record for any county, even our larger counties last year, at $172 million. And you're the first to actually hear this. I haven't even reported to the county commission. Our fiscal year ends September 30th. We broke that record, and actually I think we're at 230. I think that's wrong. That's wrong. I just want to make sure that's wrong. We're going to be reporting to the county commission, because we just got our audited financials back, $230 million of extra income for Palm Beach County from our investment. Get to the next slide. So I want to talk to you about Israel bonds. We actually have, and this isn't an exaggeration, the largest investment in the entire world in Israel bonds. More than the state of New York, more than any nation, and I will tell you why. Israel bonds, we'll put the politics aside for a moment, they pay a great rate, substantially more than the U.S. Treasuries. And quite frankly, to put this in perspective, we make $35 million a year on they're 15% of our portfolio. We make $35 million a year just from 15% of our portfolio. Again, to put that in perspective, we were making $27 million from 100% of our portfolio. So just on 15%, we are far outperforming the portfolio that I inherited, and it's been an incredible investment for us. They're in 2 to 3 year durations. The majority are in 2 years, which are over a year vested already, so we'll be getting that money back and seeing what the rates are and how things look. But we are truly the largest investor in Israel in the entire world, and just here in Palm Beach County. So this just shows where everything is. Now, I cannot invest in the S&P 500, the volatile stock exchange. You will never, ever see me go into crypto or any of that. It's all in safe investments. We have 61% in money markets, 13% in SBA pools, 10% in certificate deposits, and then, of course, the 15% in Israel bonds. These numbers may change a little bit. We are extremely active. Everything's managed in-house. I have an in-house investment team that I meet with in person, talk on the phone godly amounts of times per week, but actually we have physical meetings in person every week to go over how your money's going. I'm on top of it like crazy, to put it in, for lack of a better word. We really stay on top of things. When I first took office, I did bring in the big guns, Goldman Sachs and some other massive financial institutions, to get proposals how they would manage our money. They gave it to us. My staff shows me about every quarter, if we followed the Goldman and others' ways, we would have earned less than half of what we're earning now if we didn't do it ourselves, on top of paying high fees with your tax dollars for them to manage our own money. So we do it in-house. I really have to give credit to our team, and we're doing really well. We're on pace, if all goes well, now re-elected, and this has never been done before. I'm hoping to break $1 billion so I've served in this position now for sure for 8 years. By the end of that 8 years, my goal is to break $1 billion of extra money given to the county that they never had. This is an important slide, and I really commend our county commission, not only the current one, but the ones that have come prior. If you look at any large county or city in the United States, they have no possible way to get out of debt. I come from Illinois originally. I've been here since I was 18 years old. My entire adult life's been right here in Palm Beach County. But my hometown where my family is in Illinois, they are a mess. You could go about 700 years, I'm not exaggerating, and they would never be able to get out of their debt. This is our debt in Palm Beach County, which comparatively is extremely low. By 2048, if the county chose, they could literally be debt-free, which I'm telling you, nobody has that in large counties and large cities. It's really remarkable the way that they have really not overspent, not taken out too many bonds and loans to always leave themselves in great shape. We have, as a county, we have some of the strongest bonds in the entire nation, and this is why. We have incredible income coming in, and we did not overburden the taxpayers with debt. So as mentioned, we're on all our social media links. Our website is mypalmbeach.clerk.com. Do you have? Oh, right here's the handle, at Clerk PBC. That's almost our handle on every social media site. It is not something that we inundate you with worthless information. If we're putting something out, it likely pertains to you or something you'd want to know. So please follow us if you can. Okay, awesome. Is there any questions that you have about our office or what we do?
I think you gave a terrific explanation of that. We're all very happy about that. I don't see any. Oh, well, you can stick around for a few minutes if there's any questions people like to ask.
Thank you so much for your time, but I really, because it's the day after the election, thank you so much for sending me back as your clerk. It's been a true privilege to serve you for nearly 18 years in elected office, and it means a lot to be here. Thank you, Lori. Thank you, Alliance.
Thank you. Yes, and, yeah, that's okay. So much. Did I pierce you?
No, you're good.
Good. Okay, thank you, and we are happy that you were reelected. Clerk Abruzzo's presentation will be sent out on the next email. Kathy sent us the PDF, and along with the meeting video and meeting summary. Remember, next month, big insurance seminar and warm breakfast. Now we're going to go here for our who wins the 2 tickets to the December 6th luncheon. 651, I bet everybody has that. 6051. Anybody there? 6051. There you go. 2 tickets. Hello, and good to see you, our friends from the waterways. There you go. Terrific, terrific. And next month, believe it or not, they're going to be giving out, they say $1,000. Now, you know what the Alliance does. We always under-promise and over-deliver. Well, it looks like next month we're like over-promising. Let's see what happens. They're going to be great. They're going to be giving us a warm buffet and a $1,000 chance to win $1,000 for a cash raffle. So this is all from Plastridge Insurance, which is great. And the whole panel was set up so that it'll give us a really great amount of information. So let's see if we get everything we were promised, right? Have a terrific month, have a terrific Thanksgiving, and we will see you December 4th.